welcome to a very special edition of Escape to the Country, where we've lined up 6 properties to tempt 2 sets of buyers in one county.
We'll be showcasing the very best of the scenery and offering some advice and tips along the way.
So today we've set our sights on the rolling hills of the southwest. Find out exactly where in just a moment.
On today's show, I'm helping 2 career hotshots who now want a shot at the good life. It's one of my trickiest house hunts.
Is it going to be a bedroom or a studio?
Studio.
I say bedroom.
And I have some surprises with my quirky cottages.
Oh my goodness, you're welling up.
It means that much, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's beautiful.
Well, in today's show, we're paying a visit to the enticing and magical county of Somerset.
It is gorgeous, and what I like when you get there is that feeling of it being relatively unspoilt, very rural, laid back and quite mystical.
One of my favourite areas are the Quantocks. Just to the west of Taunton, you've got beautiful landscape, gorgeous coastline, and not many people know about it. But of course, there's a lot more to Somerset than just my favourite areas.
Set in the southwest of England, the county of Somerset is bordered by Wiltshire to the east, Dorset to the southeast and Devon to the southwest.
Its ancient and historic terrain is home to world-famous natural wonders, such as Britain's largest gorge at Cheddar, with its dramatic cliffs rising 450 feet.
Heading south in the county, there are charming towns like Axbridge, full of historic buildings. But outside the cities and towns, this county is full of rural communities, living in the most idyllic of pastoral landscapes. So it's easy to see why it's an area worth escaping to. So Jules, when you think of Somerset, it conjures up images of the Quantocks, the Mendips, the Levels. It's such a beautiful part of the UK and consistently popular with our house hunters.
Well, it is, and I think value for money is the key there. When you think that the average price of a detached property is only, what, £6,000 above the national figure, it does mean that it's really affordable and certainly better value for money, arguably, than neighbouring Devon and Dorset.
But what about the commuter areas? Say, for example, the Chew Valley. You're going to be paying, what, 15% premium to live there because it's so close to Bath and Bristol?
Well, at least. So my advice with Somerset is always to go further south, towards Chard, Crewkerne, Ilminster. It's also really pretty.
But where are the new places we should look out for?
I think Bruton.
Why?
It's beautiful, it has a lovely river, the Brew running through the middle of it, lots of other independent shops, wonderful restaurants and some fantastic architecture.
Now, shall I tell you about my couple?
Go on, where from?
2 ladies currently living in Peterborough. One has the most horrendous commute to London every day. That's all about to change. Work-wise, she's moving to Bristol, so we're going to find her somewhere glorious around there.
Well, it all sounds good, but before that, let's catch up with our first couple of house buyers.
Southerner Mark and Julie from Scotland are IT consultants from opposite ends of the British Isles. They met at work and 3 years ago decided it was time for Mark to move into Julie's existing home in Edinburgh.
I bought this house just for me and the cat. It was big enough for the 2 of us, and since Mark's moved in, the house is just groaning at the seams.
With all the stuff that we have between us, has been quite a challenge to find homes for everything.
Now, a new job for Julie in Bristol is giving them the chance not only to trade up their house, but also offering a much-wanted change of lifestyle.
When we go down to the West Country, we're looking for the outdoor space. We like to be around animals. We want to do more stuff outside.
Home is currently a compact 3-bedroom house in Edinburgh's commuter belt.
This is an estate. The houses are very close together. There's just too much noise. We just want complete peace and quiet.
This will be the first time they've bought a house together.
It gives us the opportunity to have something that we can call ours.
There are certain things that we do agree on, but there are lots of things that we don't in terms of what we want in the property. If we could have a wing each, it would be great.
But there's one thing they are in complete agreement on: the need for Julie's messy hobby of making stained glass to move out of the main house.
Just practically, cutting glass in a house, there are shards of glass go everywhere, and it also takes up a huge amount of space.
For their bigger, quieter new home, they have a decent pot of money.
The budget for the move is £500,000.
As Julie and Mark want a rural property no more than an hour from central Bristol, I'm concentrating our search in central Somerset, within striking distance of the M5. And I'm joining them to find out more about the specifics of their planned move. Well, welcome to Somerset.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a long way from home for you, isn't it?
Yeah, a very long way.
Now, this is all motivated by your new job, isn't it?
Yes,
This is a chance for the pair of you to buy a house that's actually both of yours.
correct.
Yeah.
Something we hope which is a bit bigger, which certainly has a bit more character to it and certainly has a rural feel. Now, just give us an idea of what this house might look like. How many bedrooms and all that sort of thing do you need?
Minimum 3. We'd like a bit of land for doing, for keeping animals such as sheep, pigs, chickens, quail.
What you're describing, to me, is a small holding. And yes, you've got a very handsome budget of £500,000. The need to be closer to Bristol obviously puts us into Bristol's own kind of commuter belt, which comes with a price tag and a premium. Now, one other element that we do need to satisfy are your hobbies. So we want a nice workshop stroke outbuilding, because it's a great thing that you're doing with the stained glass.
There's a lot of use of blowtorches and smelly tallow and chemicals and things that you really don't want in your house, so we really need somewhere outside the house.
Again, outbuildings, I don't think are a problem with your £500,000. Are you ready to spend it?
Yeah.
Good. Well, we've got 3, I think, very interesting properties to tempt you with, including our mystery house, which we'll look at first thing tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, let's get going. After you.
Thank you.
For a budget of £500,000, Mark and Julie are looking for a minimum of 3 bedrooms and a formal dining room. They want character, but ideally not a thatched property. And as well as wanting some land, they also need a separate workshop for Julie's stained glass making. And all this must be located within a 1-hour commute of Bristol. It's quite a shopping list, but we've got 3 properties lined up, which all offer something different, and as usual, I won't be revealing their prices immediately. And for the final offering, the mystery house, I've got something up my sleeve that they really won't be expecting. We're kicking off the house search 6 miles east of the M5 in the rural village of Catcott. And not far from the centre of the village is our first property. Right, in you come. In you come. What do you think to all this then? Come over here. This is our first property for you.
Looks good so far. Loving the stone.
Isn't it lovely? That bit is the oldest bit. It's about 300 years old. It's an old barn that's been converted, and then this bit was added about 3 years ago with some wonderful oak truck beams in it, wood burner and so on. The one thing we have to be up front about is that we don't have acres and acres for you here. As you can see, it is quite an enclosed garden setup. But we do have access to somebody up the road who regularly rents out paddocks.
Okay.
All right, so if this little village community is for you, and if this house is for you, I think we can satisfy every end. But it is a fantastic property, this.
Looking forward to seeing inside it.
Come on then, let's have a look.
With the option of land for animals off-site, this magical walled garden does fulfil their desire for a restful retreat from work, and I'm hoping the inside will impress.
So there, this is the new bit. What do you reckon?
Very nice.
Fantastic.
Loving the wood.
the woodwork.
Isn't it beautiful?
And I love the stove.
Yep, yep.
And the light as well, coming in from the skylights too.
Is this the sort of thing that would work?
It's definitely a place that you can relax and, you know, chill.
And it goes on into the kitchen, which is here, which is again nice sort of open plan. There's a larder and a utility room through that door there. But it's got a lovely kind of flow to it, I think.
It is, yeah. And it's nice and country feeling too, isn't it?
But you're not saying very much, Mark, which is worrying me slightly.
Yeah. What's going on in my mind is, does it give us that formal space for formal dining?
Yeah, we don't mind doing the sort of informal things if we've just got house guests, but when it comes to big occasions like Christmas, etc.,
Yeah.
we do like to have the formal dining space.
I mean, there is the snug next door. That could become a dining room. You can, you know, adapt part of that enormous living room's really
It does
good
give a lot of options from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue this way.
It might not have a ready-made dining room, but as well as a separate WC, there is a downstairs third bedroom with its own ensuite shower and sauna. And upstairs there is a further guest double as well as the master bedroom.
Now, there are 2 bedrooms up here. None of them are en suite, but they are served by a very big family bathroom right next door.
Okay.
This is currently the master bedroom. Yes.
Nice size.
Good high ceilings, fantastic light.
I do want to finish off with this, I think, amazing studio in the garden. It's currently set up as an ensuite, so it's a great annex for your guests, but could it be your workshop? Yeah, let's have a look.
Overlooking an ornamental pond, this single-storey cabin could make a fantastic stained glass studio for Julie.
What do you think?
Oh, wow.
Not bad, is it?
That's very nice.
The question is, does it stay as bedroom with ensuite to there, or is it going to be a studio?
Studio.
I say bedroom.
And there's another outbuilding currently being used as an office and extra bedroom, which could also be made into a workshop or more guest accommodation.
Have you got any idea of what property number 1 is on the market for?
I'm going to go for top end of the budget, I think. I'm going to go for 495.
I'm going to go a lot less.
Okay.
425.
This is on at £475,000. Obviously open to offers, but you know, you do get quite a lot for it. The only issue, I suppose, is whether or not you can compromise on the lack of obvious acreage, and whether the whole animal issue is one that's going to really take hold in your minds and you want to pursue more fully. But as a property to come in and live in, I think it works.
For a property to live in, it hits the mark for me.
For £25,000 under budget, this converted barn and outbuildings give Mark and Julie 2 large living spaces, a contemporary kitchen diner, a minimum of 3 bedrooms for visiting friends and family, plus a choice of 2 outbuildings for Julie's work studio. But is it enough house and garden? Ah, there you go. I was rather enjoying this. I thought you were going to take a bit longer. Thought maybe you'd found the kettle and made us a cup of tea.
Lots to see, lots to think about.
Well, I think this is a great start, certainly,
Yeah.
but I think we still have some way to go. Let's get going.
Somerset is essentially a rural county, but over the years it's also been a centre for industry, with coal mining, quarrying, wool, weaving and textiles. Much of this manufacturing declined long ago, but thankfully some is still thriving, and I'm visiting the South Somerset town of Castle Carey to see the last remaining horsehair weavers in the UK. Established in 1837 by a travelling Scotsman called John Boyd, today it's run by Managing Director Anna Smith. Hello, Anna.
Hi.
I'm Jules. Very nice to see you.
No.
Now this is what I was hoping to see.
Yeah.
A classic, old-fashioned kind of weaving shed.
Yeah.
And here you are holding some of the famous horsehair.
Yes.
But what is it about horsehair that makes it such a fantastic fabric?
It's a very unusual fabric. It's a very, very strong, resilient fabric. It'll last more than 100 years if it's properly upholstered. It was the original fabric used by Chippendale, Hepperwhite, Rennie Mackintosh. So if you have a good piece of furniture, it's the right fabric to put on it.
But to many people, the idea of making anything from horsehair might seem quite unusual. It's a fashion that's kind of disappeared, really. Why?
I mean, it was very, very popular in Victorian times. Originally, they used local horses, and then when the car was invented in 1890, there just wasn't as much horsehair available. So we would travel up to London, we'd meet hair brokers from overseas, and source the hair
Hair
from other
brokers?
countries.
That's like a commodity broker, but dealing in horsehair.
Yes, yes.
So where do you get it from now?
It comes mainly from Mongolia and Siberia, where they still use working horses.
That's incredible, and yet here it is in Somerset.
Yeah, yeah.
To prepare the hair for weaving, it's first washed and then dyed. Each tail starts off in its natural state and is stained to order from a choice of over 200 colours. Once dyed, and before it can be weaved, the hair needs to go through one more traditional process. Duncan!
Hi there.
Hello, mate, how are you? Chief wizard of the dyeing process.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And also of hackling. This is hackling, is it?
This is hackling, yeah. Yeah, this is done to remove all the short and broken hairs.
Potentially quite dangerous by the looks of it.
It is, yeah, you have to be careful with your knuckles.
But also, I imagine, quite cathartic, is it?
It's not too bad, gives you time to think. Sorry.
Can I have a go?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. Just hold it tightly there and start at the end.
Start at the end?
Yeah, and work your way up.
Look at that, it's lovely.
Okay.
Sort of flaxen-haired lump of mane, look at that. So just flop it on?
Just flop it on the end and pull it through. That's it, you feel it.
Oh, yeah.
A bit, and then you go a bit further next time.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, just sort of working your way down.
Yeah, pulling the knot.
The tail. So how much hackling do you have to do on one of these pieces of hair?
Until it runs through smoothly, basically. So it varies. It can take a couple of minutes. It can take 5 or 10 minutes.
So once you've finished your hackling, I guess it's pretty much ready to go onto the looms.
Incredibly, the looms at this factory are the originals, making them around 150 years old. The lengthwise threads, known as the warp, are made of cotton, silk or linen. The horizontal threads, known as the weft, are the individually inserted horsehairs, and each loom can produce just 2 to 3 metres of fabric a day.
And here it is, finished, and what I love about this is that you can still see the individual horsehairs. Just remind us how many of those there are to the inch.
There's 90 hairs in 1 inch of cloth, and they're all put in individually.
And here we have it, well, in its applied form, the finished product, doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Is this the sort of thing that we might expect to see in royal palaces, for example?
Yes, we supply to royal palaces both here and also overseas as well.
So is it a market that's now growing again?
Yes, we're very fortunate. A lot of contemporary designers are showing a lot more interest in the product because of its unusual properties.
Well, I think it's absolutely fabulous, and it's a real treat to see that it's a tradition that's very much alive and well here in Somerset.
And let's hope it's a skill that can continue for at least another 150 years. The search is taking us south to the village of Othery, which is just on the edge of Julie's maximum commute to Bristol of 1 hour. And just a short walk away is our second property.
So, what have we got here for you? Ooh, how about this?
Nice.
Yeah?
Very nice.
What do you make of number 2?
Very pretty. I like the stone. I love the front door.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Looks like it's got a fair amount of character.
Oh, yes. If I tell you it goes back to between 14 and 1500,
Oh, fantastic.
you've got loads of character. There is also that enormous barn attached to it, which I'm going to describe as a kind of party barn. It is a really good space. And I know we've talked about, friends and family coming down and you entertaining. Clearly, the dining room was a good indication of your need to entertain. That's a great spot. Right. Great spot.
Well, excited to see the inside now.
This I am excited about as well.
Good.
That's a great reaction for the outside of the property, and I think Mark and Julie will be impressed with how much house they'll get for their money on this one.
So let's start with one of the 3 reception rooms this place offers you.
Very nice. I do like this.
Very impressive.
What's working?
The fireplace, the size of the room, the height of the beams, just at the right height.
This is working well, isn't it?
It is so far, yeah.
So far.
Want to see more.
Right then, let's go to the kitchen.
There are 2 further living rooms, both with exposed beams and inglenook fireplaces. In this house, they're spoilt for choice as to where that formal dining room would go.
This is the kitchen, guys.
Very nice. Very nice.
Bigger than the last one.
Yeah?
Far more cupboards, which is something that we're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
I like the worktop.
The worktops.
There's definitely more smiles coming from you on this one. Come on, there's so much to get through. Follow me.
A corridor leading to a rear conservatory concludes the downstairs layout, and the spacious ground floor is definitely ticking boxes for Mark. Upstairs offers just as much, with 4 good-sized bedrooms full of period features and 1 family bathroom.
So this is what we've got in mind for you two.
Nice size.
Yeah?
It's a good size.
Plenty room for furniture, plenty room for the wardrobes. Yeah, nice and light with the windows on either side.
Good.
And similarly to our first property, you've got the annex with another double bed in it. But I really want to finish off in the garden, and we'll talk about the price of property number 2 as well.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah? Go on, after you. Lead on.
The space in this house is clearly a winner, and the annex gives them more than expected too. With 3 rooms downstairs and a mezzanine bedroom upstairs, there is plenty of space to house both the workshop and guests.
So as you can see, here is the rest of the garden. We had a glimpse of it when we arrived back there. But within its half an acre, it's got some quite interesting little zones. So I think you've got room enough, certainly for plenty of vegetable gardening, and indeed for some chickens, and maybe some quail.
As a garden, it works for me.
Does it work for you? Because I know space is the key issue.
It's not far off it.
You've got $500,000 to spend. Where do you think property number 2 comes on the scale?
Near the top, 485,000.
485,000, yeah, okay.
I'm going to go 490,000.
490,000. You're both wrong, but you're not far off, in fairness to you. This one is bang on the budget at £500,000. But how do we feel about that?
Quite good.
Yeah? I would.
It surprises me because it's a lot of house.
It's a huge amount of house.
£500,000.
I know it hasn't got everything, but it's got an awful lot going for it.
So bang on the budget at £500,000, this converted farmhouse offers all the space they could wish for, with 4 bedrooms and 3 spacious living rooms. There's enough land to start their bid for the good life, as well as the huge annex and an unconverted barn which might need a bit of vision.
Right, out you come. You have had a lot to explore. We've given you loads of time on this one, but well worth it, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a contender?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It should be. I love it. I was very excited to show you this one. But it's been a long day. We've got our mystery house awaiting us tomorrow morning. So time now for some supper and a drink, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, come on then.
What a property. You've got a definite contender there, but have you peaked too soon?
It's always a worry, isn't it? But it did all end rather well. Let's just hope they're still smiling when I show them the mystery house, because, to be honest, I did take something of a gamble.
No surprise there, then.
No surprise.
But before that, let's meet our second couple, who are hoping to swap their suburban semi for the character of the Somerset countryside. Our house hunters currently live on a housing estate in Peterborough. Michelle and Sean have been together for 5 years and are engaged to be married.
Our family consists of us 2, our daughter Ellie, who's 12, and then our 2 dogs, which are Bentley and Ruby. So yeah, we're just very tight in a unit.
Sean works locally as a teaching assistant, but Michelle works in the finance industry and commutes each day to central London.
I leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I personally come home at, say, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and Eddie's in bed. And at the weekends, we're just sorting ourselves out ready then for the next week.
It's like Groundhog Day.
And Michelle has already started to make changes.
Where I work at the moment in London, and we've got another office that's down in Bristol, and there's an opportunity that, you know, potentially I could go down and work down there and, you know, doing the same job. You know, it's ideal.
Getting out of the suburban hubbub and embracing country life can't come soon enough.
The house that we live in at the minute, it works for us, it's big enough, but it's not what we dream of. Like, we both have the same dreams, don't we? And we want the cottagey feel, and we want to be able to have those oaky smells, and we love walks with the dogs, don't we? We really love to be part of a small knit community in a village. We're village people.
They need to sell their current house for the move, but have a figure for their new home in mind.
The budget for the move would be £300,000 to £400,000.
To get Michelle and Sean the rural setting they want, but with a manageable commute to Bristol, we're looking at villages no more than an hour from the centre. But I need to find out what else they're looking for.
Wow, Michelle and Sean, welcome to a very brisk Somerset today.
Yes, very much so.
I mean, it looks absolutely beautiful, but I think we're going to be, fighting the rain most of today.
Yeah.
It's not going to put us off, is it?
No.
So tell me, why Somerset?
Well, you can see exactly why Somerset, really. It's just absolutely beautiful. The setting, the lifestyle, everything. It's just a very calming place to be.
Now, you currently live in a modern house. What are you looking for with this move?
So we're looking for something a little bit more villagey, warm, homely kind of country feel to it. You want some fire or some...
Yeah, I want fire.
That's what I want.
Just a fire.
Just a fire. Sean, you and I are going to I'll get you a fire. Right, she's going to buy this house. The fire's good.
Just a fire. Yeah.
And tell me more about this house. How many bedrooms? What are you after?
A minimum of 3, so that we can have obviously people stay over and things from back up north. I'm not too worried about the size really. Just a minimum of 3 bedrooms, some garden possibly for the dogs.
So tell me about your budget.
Okay, well, yeah, we're in a region of about £350,000, but obviously that can go up. Depends on what the kind of house that we can see, and if it's something that we fall in love with, then obviously we could look to go a bit further if we need to.
Give me that top budget if we find you something
Top budget
perfect.
400,000.
400,000. And tell me, do you always agree on everything?
No.
Two of you? That was quite definite, wasn't it? Yes.
We agree on agreeing that we don't agree.
Yeah. So we have got 3 splendid properties to show you. The landscape's disappeared behind us. I think that rain's coming in. So on that note, should we get started?
Definitely, yes, let's go.
So, for a maximum budget of £400,000, they're looking for a characterful country home with a minimum of 3 bedrooms, a real fire for Sean, and in a rural setting no more than an hour from Bristol. And we've got 3 fantastic houses that I know will deliver on their country dream, but I won't be letting them in on the price until they've had a guess first. And then there's the mystery house, which is a heavenly proposition. Our search kicks off in the hamlet of Yarley Hill, just 50 minutes from the centre of Bristol, but in the heart of the Mendips. A 5-minute drive out of the village up a quiet and narrow country lane is property number 1.
So, brought you to a beautiful little hamlet, actually, for your first property. Tell me what you think.
Amazing.
Lovely.
Beautiful. Yeah, I do like the stone. It's what we're looking for, isn't it?
It's nice.
Used to be part of a blacksmith's forge. All these buildings, and looking at it, you can probably see it was 3 separate properties. Wow.
Has it got a fire?
Has it got a fire? Has it got more than one fire?
Has it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
that's what you've got to ask me.
Now I'm interested.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Come on, let's have a look.
Dating back to around 1780, this stone cottage has bags of character, and I think the features inside will be just what Sean and Michelle are looking for.
Come on in, ladies, out of that rain. So, the door opens straight into the sitting room. And Sean, what can you see right in front of you?
Fire. It's beautiful.
Does it make you happy?
Yeah, it does. It's amazing. I just feel like really emotional.
Do you already? Oh my goodness, you're welling up. It means that much, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's beautiful.
Well, that's good. It shows, you know, this is what you're after. This is why people want to move, isn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely. Really nice. Complete opposite of what we've got at home. Complete opposite.
So if you'd like to follow me, I'm going to take us through into the dining room and kitchen.
The original Inglenook fireplace was discovered by the owners during their renovations over the last 10 years, and it has clearly struck a chord with Sean.
This part of the property has been divided up. You've got more of a snug or a dining area here.
Yeah.
And then you've got your country kitchen there.
I just worry that it's too small in terms of the storage. The size of the kitchen is great, it's just the storage for me.
How about opening this up and making it a kitchen diner?
Yeah, that's...
You could do, yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even
rather
need to
than-
take down any walls or anything. It's just
you wouldn't want to take the
reconfiguring.
walls down because that's part of the character as
Love
well.
this as well with the fire.
Oh, absolutely amazing.
So on the ground floor, is this enough space for the 3 of you with the dogs?
I think so, yeah. This is about the right size as well.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Would it be a problem if I gave you a little bit more space downstairs?
No.
No, that would be good.
Yeah? Okay.
Fantastic.
Let's see what's down here.
A corridor off the kitchen and living room leads down to a further, larger living space.
Wow.
An additional little sitting room.
Wow.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's not that little, actually,
No,
is it?
it's not at all. Complete surprise. I didn't expect to see this bit here.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yes?
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely love it. I can see myself living here.
Great. Well, let's hope you feel the same about upstairs
I know, yes.
with the bedrooms. So, Michelle, if you want to lead the
Go
way.
first.
Thank you.
A study and cloakroom round off the downstairs rooms. Upstairs there is one family bathroom which serves all 4 bedrooms, of which there are 2 doubles and a single before getting to the master.
So right at the end of the hallway upstairs, You have the master bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Big.
That's very big.
It's bigger than the one we've got now. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Like
it
the
is.
brickwork.
The brickwork's
Open
great.
brick.
Now, we know this cottage is quite quirky. It continues with the garden. It's not at the back, it's actually at the front of the property, the other side of that lovely lane.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to take a stab at the price as well.
With no garden to the rear, the land that comes with the house is across the road and is terraced up the bank.
So the cottage has had a very favourable reception. Bringing you across that little babbling brook with the bridge, this actually is your garden. Now, how do you feel with the dogs? Because you do have 2 dogs.
Yeah, that's my only reservation, just going
to
over
make
that
it
little road.
secure and
Well, let's see how you feel about the price.
Yes.
Who wants to guess the price first?
I'll go first. I would say it is about top end, about 390,000.
Right. Sean?
I'd go similar to that because it's ticked practically every single box, so 395.
It is over your budget.
Right.
The asking price is £425,000.
Okay.
Now, outside of the major cities and towns,
Yeah.
we know properties aren't flying. They know what your budget is.
Yeah.
And they are happy to have a conversation with you.
Oh, right, okay.
Priced at £425,000, this house is the classic picture postcard stone cottage. It has 4 bedrooms, 2 large living rooms, fireplaces and original features throughout, and a garden across the lane.
Right, you two? How do you feel we've done with our first property?
Really well.
Yeah?
I really like it.
Yeah, it's got enough fires for me. 4.
The fire mad woman, we love it. And that is only our first house as well.
yeah.
Still got so much more to show you, so we're going to keep going.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
The city of Bath is known throughout the world for its architectural wonders, and no more so than for its incredibly large parish church, Bath Abbey. I've come to meet archivist Lucy Rutherford to learn more about this site and the intriguing works going on.
Well, Lucy, thank you for inviting us to Bath Abbey. It's an absolute treat to be here. The most beautiful building. But you've also got some serious building repair work going on, haven't you?
Yes, we have at the moment. This is not usual for us to have quite so much building work.
I'm very intrigued to know more about that. But first of all, can I ask you about the building itself? I believe there's been 3 churches on this site, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. There have been, in the last 1,000 years, an Anglo-Saxon abbey, then a huge Norman cathedral, much bigger than the present church that you
Bigger
can
than
see.
this?
Yes, and this building was started in the 1490s.
The abbey, built from Bath stone, is particularly noted for its intricate ceiling.
So do we know how high up that ceiling is?
It's about 80 feet or 24 metres.
Seems higher to me.
It does to me as well.
Yeah. It is beautiful. I mean, you really do have to stand and look up and just admire the work.
This type of fan vaulting is considered to be one of the finest examples in the country.
And looking around, Lucy, I've noticed there are so many memorials on the wall. We're surrounded by them.
They are absolutely everywhere in this building. Only Westminster Abbey has more memorials than we do here.
And these memorials, they're closely linked with this building work, aren't they? Something different's going on here.
They are indeed.
Is it possible to see some of it?
Yes, it is. We can go and see it now.
Thank you.
For more than 300 years, both the landed gentry and ordinary townspeople have been interned in the abbey.
So, Lucy, I understand that people are actually buried under these stones. Do we know how many there are?
We've had a lot of estimates about how many burials there are under the floor. We think somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 burials, approximately.
That's one of the reasons you're having to do the building work, isn't it?
It is, yes, because there have been so many burials over the centuries under the floor. This has caused a certain amount of, shall we say, settlement.
That's a nice word.
And so this means that there have been large voids left under the floor, which is causing it to gradually subside. And so if we don't take the opportunity in the medium term to put this right, then the floor is at danger of collapsing.
As it is a unique and unprecedented project, they're currently working on a test section of the floor. The stones have been removed and they are digging down to fill in the air pockets, which should stabilise the floor before the stones are replaced.
So what's actually happened to the bodies, shall we say?
We knew that we were going to find human remains because we were aware of so many burials under the floor, and we've been very careful as we've been doing this work to carefully store them, and then they will be reinterred under the floor with a service.
And whilst they are doing this essential work, they are adding some modern comforts.
At the moment, we are heated with a very antiquated Victorian system, which costs us a great deal of money to run. And because we're taking up the floor, this gives us a unique opportunity to put in underfloor heating in a partnership to use the energy from the hot water springs in the Roman baths next door to the Abbey.
What a difference it's going to make. And hopefully generations will be able to enjoy it as well. Lucy, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Time now to return to Sian and Michelle's property hunt. For our second property offering, we're driving half an hour east to the village of Lyon Mendip. Right in the centre of the village, but set back from the road with a gravel driveway, is property number 2.
So, I brought you to the village of Lye upon Mendip. We're surrounded by the Mendip Hills to show you this cottage.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely.
The country life. The perfect country life. We even have horses behind us. So you don't see that in Peterborough, do you? There you go. There you go. But what do you think of the actual house itself?
Really quaint, like it's
Yeah,
rustic.
it's really quaint and rustic. I think it's just really pretty.
First impressions are good.
Yeah, very positive.
This double-fronted stone cottage is Grade 2 listed and retains all the character Sian and Michelle are looking for. The first room on entering the house is currently used as a dining room.
So you have a small porch that leads us into the house.
Oh, wow. Beams.
Beams,
Ah,
very
it's incredible.
old beams.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Really nice.
Lots of character.
Yes. Now, I do know with this house move, we are fire obsessed.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm looking at you, Michelle, because
I
this is
know.
the one, isn't it? Sian, tell me, how do we rate that fire?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's bigger and
It's a great
Yeah.
open space.
It's a real
there.
feature of the room,
really
isn't it?
Lovely.
Let's see what you make of the rest.
Okay.
To the right of the dining room is a modestly sized living room, which is equally characterful.
Lovely beams again.
And you might notice just through there is a conservatory.
Okay, yeah.
okay.
Right, yes, so yeah, that's a bonus.
Because it's not huge, this sitting room, is it? But enough room for you?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, more than enough really for the 3 of us and the 2 dogs.
Yeah.
We've still got the
Definitely.
room next door as well, so there is still room.
So far, we had such a thumbs up with our first property. Are you getting a good feeling with this?
Kind of got a better feeling about this one.
Well, we know the kitchen is a really important room for the 2 of you,
Yeah,
so let's see what you
definitely.
think of this.
At the back of the property is an extension which houses a spectacular kitchen diner.
So tell me what you think of this room.
Wow, incredible.
Really nice.
Surprised?
Yeah, very. For the size from the front of the house, I didn't expect this.
Look at the door. What did you say?
I always wanted a farmhouse door for the dogs.
Did you? So you can keep an eye on them in the garden? Okay, well, let's see what you make of upstairs.
A study which leads to the outside could work as a boot room and is the final room on the ground floor. Upstairs on the first floor are 2 bedrooms, both doubles, and a generous bathroom. That's not all. This house has a second floor and a bit of a surprise.
We come up here
That's incredible.
and we have the master.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
There we are. See, this house keeps on giving.
It does,
It does,
doesn't
doesn't
it?
it? You don't realise this is here.
It's got a real modern theme about it, but still old.
So have they got the balance right? Character, charm,
Yeah,
plus...
definitely.
Still got the
Definitely.
character, but it's just got that modern
Yes.
edge about it.
You've seen the house. I'm going to take you back downstairs and outside.
Okay,
Brilliant. Thank you.
As well as the large driveway out the front, there is a south-facing garden to the rear and a patio area.
So, we've actually got an enclosed garden here.
Yep.
Mindful of the dogs.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
really nice.
So enough of a garden for you both?
Yeah,
I think so.
completely. Being where we are in the setting, we don't really need a huge garden, to be fair.
We can go out and go on walks and
Yeah.
do things that we don't want to do.
Yeah. I've now got to ask you, how much is it on the market for?
I think over budget, but I'd like it to come in at 375 if possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be over our budget, unfortunately. I'd liked it to be about 375.
Are your fingers crossed in those pockets?
They are completely crossed.
I could see your face there when you said it. You slightly grimaced. Well, you are both right. It is over budget. The asking price is £425,000.
It's worth it, definitely. It's a lovely house, really lovely house.
The owners are happy to have a discussion with you.
Right,
they will
okay.
look at some offers.
Right, okay.
For a negotiable £425,000 price tag, this is a classic stone country cottage, which has a great combination of characterful living rooms with a contemporary kitchen diner. There are 3 bedrooms, including a delightful master suite and an enclosed rear garden suitable for the dogs.
Today has gone so well. All right? Yeah. Look at you, you're both still smiling. You enjoyed it?
Yes,
brilliant,
Yeah?
lovely,
Good,
really lovely.
so pleased. Come on.
Now, I don't think that could have gone any better.
Do you know what? It was probably one of the most enjoyable and successful house hunting days for me ever.
If only they were all like that. So, meanwhile, back to Mark and Julie. Don't forget, they were coming from Edinburgh down to Somerset with £500,000.
That's a good, healthy budget, £500,000.
Well, they were going to need every penny because halfway through the house tours, Julie let slip that she'd been given a cow to bring with her.
A cow?
A cow.
That has to be a first.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, normally it's children, dogs, cats, maybe a horse.
Donkeys.
Maybe a donkey, but never a cow. So, for our mystery house, well, the gloves were off. We took a gamble. For our final property, I'm taking Mark and Julie 6 miles further south to the small town of Langport, just over an hour from Bristol city centre. And just a mile up the road is today's mystery house. So you remember in the car, you said, is it going to be a thatch? Mm-hmm. There it is. It is a thatch. And I know you've got some misgivings about thatch properties. You're not alone. There are many misconceptions about thatch properties, that they're going to burn down, that they leak, that they're damp and all the rest of it, that they cost a fortune to insure, none of which is true.
Okay.
You know, thatch has been around for literally thousands of years. It is a brilliant and very durable material. And it does create the classic kind of chocolate box image of your new country home. We've got you 1.63 acres that run up behind here through a lovely kind of range of gardens up to orchard, paddock,
lovely.
and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Right. Let's have a look then. Yeah, come on then. Let's see what you think of it. I'm relieved the thatch hasn't put them off, because the land behind this charming cottage with annex could make it a winner. So to start with, downstairs loo and shower room in there, and a little cloakroom, and then this is kitchen.
Ooh, small.
Well, we spoilt you, haven't we?
Yeah.
We spoilt you with what we've seen already, but that's the kind of compromise.
Serious.
Yeah, come on. He's thinking it won't take long. Well, next to the kitchen, the dining room, obviously. I know this is important to you.
Oh, nice.
That is nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I really like the way they've made a feature of the brickwork and sort of rendering halfway up the wall.
Yeah.
It's very cosy and it is very, very pretty.
Right then, living room.
Yeah.
So across this little hallway then is the living room. Watch your heads. There.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now this has got a great big smile from you, Mark.
Yeah, it's just
The fireplace.
the fireplace.
Yeah, we've not been short of an ingle nook or two this week.
No.
So there's lots of features in here to recommend it. The annex is self-contained at the moment, but you can access it through that little door there, which takes you into a little sort of lobby. We'll get you to have a look at that a little bit later on. On a practical level, seriously now, you know, would this suffice?
It would me.
I still think it's a room short downstairs, but as you say, you've got this annex next door, and
Yeah, certainly you could, you know, spill through into there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You'd still have to duck. Because you couldn't chop the beam out. But, you know, for all of its size, bizarrely, it's got 4 bedrooms upstairs, not including the annex.
Really?
Yeah, come and have a look at this. With exposed beams throughout, there is 1 double room and 2 smaller ones for visiting friends and family. And then, there's the master.
Come on in.
Very nice.
Yeah? Yeah?
Loving the wonky walls. Love that. It gives so much character to the room.
I think you're more into the wonky walls than he is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But, you know, in terms of your classic slice of sort of country living, as it were, you know, this is the picture, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bigger room than I expected.
Yeah.
Yes. And, of course, the other thing is that you get a really good-sized ensuite through there. Go and have a look. It is the bathroom up here, so your guests have got to use the shower room downstairs.
It's a nice size.
It's a nice size. Nicely kitted out too.
Yeah? OK. Well, that more or less concludes the property as such, with the exception, of course, of the annex, which I'm going to let you explore at your leisure later on. Next, however, I think we should get to the main event, which is outside.
Yeah.
The garden and the paddock and somewhere for this cow. Yeah? Come on.
For Julie's stained glass making, there are outbuildings aplenty with a garage, 3 sheds and a stable. And across the formal lawns is the land that I think is the real draw.
Now then, talked about the good life and self-sufficiency. What about that for a bountiful vegetable patch?
Yeah, compost heap.
Compost heap. You've got 2 greenhouses.
Yep.
It's kind of all here. And we haven't got to the rest of the land yet.
Keep going.
Yeah, come on then.
The ready-made vegetable plots would give them a head start on their dreams of a small holding, and this property offers them just under an acre of paddock, more than enough for Julie's new cow.
So this is it. This is the paddock and orchard. So, Mark, would this work?
It would work, yeah, definitely.
Good.
Even the way it's been laid out is not dissimilar to something I would have done myself.
OK, good. So, madam, you can go first for our last guess.
Okay, so...
Make us an offer on the mystery house.
Well, we've gone smaller on the house, bigger on the ground, so bang on our budget of 500,000.
Mm-hmm. Mark?
I'm going to go over budget at 520,000.
£520,000. You're not bad at this, you two, to be fair. But on this occasion, you, madam, are right. Yes, £500,000.
Lucky.
That
Gets you
surprises me.
the mystery house. Happy?
Yeah, very happy.
For £500,000, this chocolate box farmhouse offers 4 bedrooms, 2 living spaces, and just over 1.5 acres, including formal gardens, vegetable patches and a paddock, plus a self-contained annex which could be remodelled.
So what are you thinking about the thatch then?
Are you still agonising over thatch?
I'm afraid so.
I thought this might have been a turning point. Well, look, I think we have given you 3 very interesting options.
Yes.
And maybe we found you a solution. Who knows? Yeah? Should we go and have a cup of tea and think about it?
Yeah.
Come on then. Well, this has been an interesting week.
It has indeed.
It has indeed. Have we managed to find you a new home?
No, I think is the short answer. But given us some really good properties to look at and lots of things to think about.
His face said it all. You were too slow in answering.
Can I pick bits of each 3? one bit from each.
You would not be the first buyers to want to put all of our properties into a bag, shake it all up and pull out your dream home.
Yeah.
So if we could put property 2 in property 3's location.
In the middle of property 3's location.
It would be perfect.
Right. But I guess you are understanding now, perhaps a bit more clearly, the limitations on what the budget can do. So actually, we've sent you off having to find more money and still as confused as you were when you arrived.
No, I'm not confused. It's been a great experience, and seeing the contrast between the 3 different houses, you know, it's built a good story for me for what I need to look at in the future.
Yeah.
Well, I've certainly enjoyed it. You can't beat house hunting in Somerset, whatever the outcome. Best of luck to you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Oh, Jules, that looks so hopeful. I thought you'd nailed it on that one.
I thought we nailed it, the crew thought we nailed it, we were all so hopeful, but as is often the case, as you know, so near, but yet so far.
Can be frustrating, can't it?
Very.
Well, let's go back to my lovely couple, Michelle and Sean, desperate to leave Peterborough behind them and move to the glorious countryside of Somerset.
Now, £400,000 they had, and it was going well.
It was going so well, we'd set the bar very high. So with the mystery house, was it going to be 3 out of 3?
I'm taking Michelle and Sian 3 miles north to the small village of Holcombe. The village boasts 4 churches, of which just 2 are still in use as religious buildings. And that's a clue for our mystery house, which is located in the heart of the village.
Michelle and Sian, can I introduce you to your mystery house?
I just feel like you're trying to kill me with your heart attack.
Well, in a good way, I hope. Really?
Yeah, goose pimples up and down my spine.
It's absolutely amazing.
It's emotional, really.
Oh, completely speechless.
Oh, Michelle, you've gone as well. Oh. The reason we've picked it as our mystery is you live in a modern property at the moment, very contemporary. Yeah. This dates back to 1890, so it has charisma, it's got charm, it's got the original features, but it's very contemporary inside.
Oh, it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
So I'm guessing you'd quite like to take a look inside.
Kind of.
Yeah. Come on, let's see what you think.
Converted in 2003, this Methodist chapel has been divided into 3 homes. Our property occupies the whole front end of the building.
So, what are you thinking?
I'm not going any further. This is our dream home already. I've not even walked through the door.
Well, let's hold judgment just in case. But I think you're right. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Let's start off with the sitting room.
This 21-foot reception room continues the mix of heritage and contemporary interior styling.
You just the light that comes straight through those windows. Wow.
It's breathtaking.
It's us, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does the fire work?
The fire does work, yes. But it's not a traditional wood burner, it's a contemporary burner.
Lovely burner.
I could compensate for that.
Yes. Michelle, how do you feel as you walk through the door?
Exactly how I thought it was going to be inside.
Are you scared you might have lost your heart?
Yes, and I have a little bit. Amazing.
Lost for words, that's a rare thing with you, isn't it?
A little bit.
Would you like to see a little bit more?
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay.
Across the hallway is the kitchen.
Now, I know you love contemporary modern kitchens.
Lovely.
Incredible.
Really nice. Really spacious and bright.
You really do love this house, don't
Yeah,
you?
incredible.
Upstairs there are 4 bedrooms in total. 2 good-sized doubles which Ellie could choose from, a single which is currently used as a study, as well as a family bathroom and the main bedroom.
This is the master.
Lovely.
I'm in love with it.
Really spacious and with the window. Really bright.
Airy.
Still the character because obviously of the ceiling.
Yes.
Really lovely. This is exactly what we would do. So
Is it?
yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've already done it for you?
Yeah.
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 Any more thoughts on the house before I take you back outside?
Can we stay here?
Yeah, we'll just stay here now.
Do you love it?
I do, absolutely.
It's us.
To a T.
Oh, it's a lot to take on board, isn't it? Okay, we're going to head back downstairs, please,
Right.
girls.
Okay.
No problem.
Outside, the garden extends out to the front only.
And you have your garden right here.
Okay, so no back garden?
There's not... I know it's hard to believe when you're walking around because it's such a large house, but the actual chapel itself is divided into 3 different properties.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So we've got a third of it here. So if you look to the side and there's a fence, that's where your land actually finishes. We like this property, don't we, girls?
Yeah, too much.
Well, let's see if it is too much, because how much for the final time is the mystery house on the market for? Guess the price of the Methodist chapel.
I reckon it would be over budget compared to yesterday, so 450.
Okay, and your budget, top budget?
It's 400.
Yeah. Michelle?
I'd say exactly the same. I'd go at about 440.
Oh, the asking price for the mystery house is... Don't hate me, will you?
Go on.
£375,000.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Gosh.
Really?
Under budget.
Are you crying?
You're making me well up. Just seeing your face.
Where do you sign?
Is it checkbook time? How do you feel, Michelle?
Oh, overwhelmed, and it's a good price, a really good price. So yeah.
So for 25,000 under budget, this £375,000 converted Methodist chapel gives 2 generous living spaces, 4 bedrooms, original Gothic-style features mixed with a contemporary finish throughout, and is right in the heart of a village location.
This house hunt in Somerset, it's been emotional, hasn't it?
Pure emotion.
How are you feeling?
Drained and emotional.
Really?
Headache.
You're confused now.
Yeah.
Do you want some time to sort of collect your thoughts, you know, have a chat on your own, and then we'll sit down and see what your next step's going to be?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Now, Michelle and Sian, I must admit, when we started this tour of Somerset, I didn't realise quite how emotional it was going to be. Did you?
No,
not at all.
No.
It's just been such an amazing experience. We've learnt loads.
Well, let's talk about the properties that we've seen. With you two, all 3 properties got such great ratings, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they all gave us something that we were looking for. They all had the fires, the quirkiness, the picture postcard kind of setting. But with that last house, it was just so overwhelming.
But with the final property, the mystery house, both of you literally just dissolved in tears, didn't you, looking at the chapel?
Completely. I think we both felt exactly the same way about it.
And you said that you weren't going to agree. You've agreed the whole way, the two of you.
Yeah, we scare ourselves, I think. We do have the same taste, really.
Yeah.
So as you both lost your head and your hearts to the mystery house, what's the logical next step?
Our next step would be to involve Ellie, because she's the most important person in our lives, and contact obviously the vendors and speak to them and bring Ellie over and see the property with us.
That's great.
See if she loves it as much as we do.
You know, you're both in that place where you're desperate to find a house.
Yeah, we are, yeah. We really, really want to get down here as quick as we can. But no different than any other person, we've got to sell the house first, which is always the frustration of it all.
Yes. If you had sold your property,
yeah,
what would you be doing today?
I would like to think we'd be exchanging.
Really? Oh, so you are that desperate to move?
Definitely. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Well, I'm thrilled we've been able to help.
No, thank you.
Thrilled we found you a fabulous property, close to the family, close to the work, but most importantly, right for the 3 of you.
Yes.
I can't tell you how much I'm going to keep everything crossed that you get that property and you sell your house in
Bless
Peterborough.
you.
Thank you so much, girls. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, it looks as if you may have found Somerset its 2 newest residents.
Yes, it went so well. I think it was one of the most enjoyable house hunts I've ever done. It was fabulous. We had tears, we had laughter, we had all the emotions.
Well, it looked like you were all having a huge amount of fun, and there is plenty more where that came from here on Escape to the Country. Do join us again.
See you again. Bye.
Mark and Julie are now renting a property in Somerset while they continue their search.
And Sian and Michelle remain very keen on our mystery house, but are still trying to sell their home in Peterborough.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, or perhaps further afield to the continent and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.
फिर बनारस में आके तू देखा, एक फिर बनारस।
Good job.